Alright, so this is a demonstration of how we get the song list on Sunday morning and how we import them. So Steve is going to send us an email. The email will be found down here at the bottom of the screen. It looks like a stamp with a little bird on it. It just says mail. I'm going to click to open that and find his latest email. In this case, it'll say his name here at the top. It'll say Steve Strozik, Sunday Worship, and then the date, usually. Or however he titles it. Usually it's going to be something like that. And you come over here after clicking on it, and his email to you for that week will show up. It'll have the songs 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in the order you're going to play them. This worship set 7 is irrelevant for right now at this station. That's going to be over at the other station. So all you need from here is his set 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we know that because it's set 7, we're going to come over here to iTunes, also found on the bottom. We're going to open iTunes by clicking on that. So because I know it's set 7, I've already set it up to come in here in iTunes and go to playlist 7. Now what you can do if he doesn't do one of the playlists that was pre-selected, you can search it in iTunes. So right here in iTunes in the top right corner there's a search bar. Click on the search bar and you can search for any song he's given you in the list. So Praise Him Forever, we can just, if I can learn how to type. So I start typing in Praise Him Forever, Chris Tomlin. Praise Him Forever, Chris Tomlin. So that's the version we're going to use. If I want to put it in the playlist for that week, which we already have, you're going to click it, drag it, drop it. It's going to say there's a duplicate. That's okay, because this one time there is a duplicate. I'm going to add it. Now it's in your playlist. So now you can play it for the week. In iTunes, it's going to go immediately to the next song. So I don't use iTunes to play the songs. I just use them to create the list. This is where I have iTunes pulled up. Then I open ProPresenter. As soon as ProPresenter loads, I also have it set up over here under audio in order, sets 1 through 12. So we're working with set 7. You're going to come over here, click set 7, open iTunes again, make sure that it matches the list you just created. And again, you got this list off of his email. So here's his email. You make sure that your iTunes playlist matches what he set on the email. Then you make sure that set 7 over here in the right matches what you pulled in the iTunes. If it does, then you can click the song, drag it over here, and let go.
What is that over there?
Over here it's just a audio library. It's on the right side. So you'll need to sort it. So here it says sort by name. I'm going to click on that arrow, the drop down menu. I want to sort it manually. Otherwise it's going to choose it alphabetically. So now it has sorted the songs in the order that I have taken them out of iTunes. Go ahead.
Is that audio library always open when you're doing this?
It's always open. I've set all 12 folders to what we currently have, and those can change, but that's easy. You just go into iTunes, type in the new song that we're going to do that week, download it to iTunes by right-clicking on it and telling it to download, and as soon as it's downloaded, you can do the same thing. You can click on it, hold it down, drag it, and this little blue line appears. You can drop it. And as soon as you let go, it's in that playlist for set 7. You can just click on whatever set you're going to do that week. So it's in that playlist, and then when it comes time to play, you just click on it. And up here in the top right, you'll see the sound bar moving. So it's playing right now. I just have it muted because we don't need it for our purposes. But see, this scrolling means it's playing the audio. Now, like this, if you're scrolling and you're like, I don't hear anything, that's when you need to start troubleshooting. You need to start looking into why, and we'll get into that later. But that is the simple breakdown of how we get it on this computer, what he wants. The key thing to note here, typically we'll play one song, we'll stop, he'll say something, and we'll play another song. And so that is set up here in this library right here. So you drop your songs into this library, and you see this icon with an arrow and a hard line, like it's hitting a brick wall or something. It's telling it to play and then stop. If I want the song to repeat, then I can right click on that and this little box pops up. We're going to come back to playback behavior. I'm just going to hover over it. Now we have a choice of loop, next, and stop. I have all of them automatically set to stop. But if you want one song to loop so you can go down there and do something, or they just want you to keep playing the same song, you can click on loop, or you can click on next and it'll play just like iTunes. But if I click on loop, notice the icon just changes to a circle as opposed to stop or play again. If I click on next, it's going to be just an arrow, no stop. So now if I click on this song and I tell it to play this song, as soon as this song is over, it's going to go directly into the next song, no break. If I click on this song right here, it's going to play and stop until you click on another song. But if you click on this one, it's going to keep playing over and over. It'll get to the end of the song and it'll just start it back up again. So that's what I use, this little circular icon. I'll use that for prayer or something where it's going to be a while, or they just have one song they want to repeat. So you'll notice I have a few sets here. I have 1 through 12. I also have a prayer for Sunday morning. You just select the name on that folder, prayer, and you can come down here and I've already added the song they use on Sunday morning, and it's going to loop. So you can click on that and you can walk away, you can do something else.
Okay, let's say that whoever's leading it down there says, I need that music to be a little louder. What would she do?
For that, you're going to come to your soundboard, which has disappeared. That's good. Hang on. Okay, so sometimes it gets stuck. You would come to your soundboard. You come over to channel C and you find the PC. It doesn't matter if it's PCL or PCR, because it's just the left speaker or the right speaker. You come down here, you'll click on the drag sound bars, and you can just lift them up for volume to increase, or pull them down, just like the rest of the soundboard.
What'd you go through to find that soundboard there?
So I went to the bottom of the screen, and there was the Gld Editor. I just clicked on that to pull it up. Right now, the computer is giving me a fit, so it's throwing my...
So normally it would just open up?
Yeah, you just click on it, it'll pop it up. It'll pop it up on this screen.
Like I said, it got stuck though, so you had to do.
Oh yeah, and instead I just I came up to Finder and did a little troubleshooting. I went to this.
What's she gonna know what to do? What should she should do if this were to happen?
All right, well we'll do a little troubleshooting
sorry.
segment. Well, if you need to, you can go downstairs on the physical soundboard, turn it up, turn it down.
Which might be quicker.
Yeah. So I went to this Apple icon here in the top left, and I came down to force quit. And when I did that, this little force quit applications window pops up. And so I just tell it what application I want to quit. In this case, I wanted it to quit or close ProPresenter so that I could see my screen. The reason I did that was because I went to close ProPresenter and these buttons weren't there in the corner. So I had to tell it to force quit. And when I did that, I had access to my screen again. So,
And then you just clicked on the GLD and opened.
yes, as soon as you get this little bar, if it messes up like it just did, it'll be over here. You can just click on it and it'll pop up. So if I minimize it, this was what it looked like. My bar was not down here, so I immediately looked over here and found it. And I need the soundboard, so I click on it. It's gonna come from there and come all the way over here to my screen. So then I can adjust it. I think that's all you're going. No, there's one more thing you're going to need.
Right there.
Yes, you can adjust it
Piece.
as long as you're under C and you see PC.
Okay.
You can adjust these knobs.
Okay.
Those two knobs are tied together.
Yeah, those two knobs are tied together. So whatever you do to one, you'll do to the other. And they control those speakers on the left and the right, and in the center of the floor that the flowers are sitting on. They can control these speakers too. There is one thing with ProPresenter you'll need to know for the audio. So you'll notice when I clicked on a song, it was playing the song through the iMac and not out there. So when, let me see, I don't think, okay, so you don't have to have it up for that. If you come to the top right corner, it'll stay on there unless you tell it not to. There's this little speaker icon. When you click on that speaker icon, you have a few options. Internal speakers, that'll play just up here, play through this computer, just for your own use. If you're going through a song before service or after service, or for whatever reason, you can click on internal speakers and it'll play through here. If you click on BMD HDMI, that's all those speakers out there, the front of house. So that's what you need every Sunday, and that won't change unless you tell it to. I told it to change, which is why the song was playing through here. So now it's set,
What's
and
the
you won't have to worry
difference
about it.
for Did you ever use that?
No, I think it comes through this, but that doesn't have a speaker. So that should be fine, because you won't need it. Now my screen's gone. So now, troubleshoot again. I'm like, oh, I lost everything over here.
You're scaring me.
It's fine. It's all fine, right?
That's fine
Yeah,
because
you're
you're
leaving.
still sitting here.
It's fine. It's fine.
What was it?
Well, you just troubleshoot again. Go to the Apple, tell it to force quit, and find the ProPresenter, force quit. Yes. Now my screen's available again. It's finicky like that. And really the only way that I know to fix it is to restart it. So if that happens, I don't restart it until the end of the service. I just deal with it with that bar being over there. It's because it's confusing the location of this screen and this screen. So it's trying to swap them and it's not working successfully.
Why is it doing that, and how do you get it back over there?
Restart the computer. So that's why I said I'll just leave it like that until after service and deal with it. Because you won't need that bar if ProPresenter's up, see, it'll be over here again, and you'll still be able to access it, do anything you need. But then if you have problems with it, you close it out, minimize it. See, now I'm like, oh, I can't access anything. Apple, force quit, ProPresenter 6, force quit, force quit. Now I have access to the screen again.
Steve, you have ProPresenter slides for your scriptures you read, don't?
So that is step 2. What we've been doing lately is using Keynote for the lyrics. Now,
Well, I'm talking about the scriptures that you read in between the,
Yeah, I have them on my iPad.
so how do they get onto the?
Keynote, it's usually like-
so what I need to know is what you're more comfortable with in terms of broadcasting the lyrics. So the other day when I had you search off his flash drive and search here and drag it down here, you can do that with the same songs. You can alt to him if we have it. You can, well, if I can type it. So that's a whole other thing. I'd have to show you how to import the song, but we have How Great Thou Art. So you can search for the song up there just like you searched for his message, and you can drag it down here with his message, and you click on the song, and so that's one option. You can display the lyrics like that. So you can do everything from this computer after you've set everything up over there for worship purposes. So you could do that. You can have your Gld Editor up here and just mess with tweak the sound and just go straight down the line. Or you can use Keynote, which is what we have been using lately. And there's a few steps to that. So what method do you prefer? I know I didn't really explain Keynote, but I can show you in detail one method over the other. That way, if I show you in detail both of them, you'll be like, wait a minute, which one was which?
You just have to write them all down.
Um, Well, just saying this for the first time, not having any notes, this seems very complicated to me. The whole thing seems complicated, and it doesn't seem real logical to me.
Okay.
If things are logical, it's much easier for me.
Alright, so I'll show you Keynote over there. And Keynote is, so when I showed you the email, let's see. When I showed you his email here and it said worship set 7, Keynote takes these songs that, well, he put them in Keynote for you, and he's put them in order, and all you have to do is download them to the computer, which I've already done, I believe all of them. I'll have to set them up to an easier access point. But anyway, you open the program and you just hit the arrow to go to the next slide. So he's done all the work for you and put everything you need up there. So that might be the most simple solution. In which case, I'll show you that real quick while I restart this.
Do you have that available when we're doing live worship, Steve?
If you do the song sets that you've been doing, then yes. If you change it up, then he's going to have to edit Keynote.
That's what I'm saying. If we start doing songs that aren't in that song list,
Then you'll have to come over here if it's on the spot.
We'll probably stick with this for a while until
yeah,
people get comfortable.
I understand.